there, Ashmita. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting these essays for you. I'm happy to see that you have submitted your first set of essays as part of the course. Let's take a look at what you wrote here. The topic is schools and whether they should be more entertaining, so let's see what you said. Entertainment in school has long been a subject of debate between many academicians, both in developing and developing world. Okay, here you needed a "the" in front of world. So in both the developing and developed world in the last decade or so. I believe that it is vital to make school have more fun-filled activities such as outings, trips, dance, music, and learning through animation. Full stop, no, etc. Okay. And schools have greater purpose in following the regular curriculum. This sentence has some problems. First of all, we don't start sentences with "and," not in formal writing. So just get rid of the "and." Start the sentence with schools. Okay. Or, yeah, I wouldn't have added this to the previous sentence. Just keep it separate. Schools have a greater purpose than following just the regular curriculum. Rather than regular, maybe you should have been more specific. Academic curriculum. Okay, this essay will discuss why this is important using examples from the Australian government and Australian Institute of Education research to demonstrate points and prove arguments, plural arguments. You're not going to just have one. It's usually in the plural. Okay, so it's fine. I'm glad that you had your position very clear here. It's important to do that. But there were some little things that need to be corrected here, okay? Let's move on. Firstly, there are ample, careful here. Evidence is uncountable, so you can't have "are," it needs to be "is." Let's try it again. Firstly, there is ample, powerful evidence that the human mind works best when it is happy and in a good mood. This is because it is open-minded to new thought processes, ES, and ideas. For example, a recent scientific study on teenage students, not teenager students, teenager is a noun, from the Australian government shows that not only their learning power increased by 10% on average without the "and" when subjects... Wait, no, there's something happening here with the grammar. When you have "not only," you need to have a "but also" at some point. Okay, so get rid of the "not only" and let's try that sentence again. For example, a recent scientific study on teenage students from the Australian government shows that their learning power increased by 10% on average when subjects were kept entertaining by regular music, art, and dance classes throughout the academic year. Okay. Moreover, it also boosts creativity, get rid of "up," and helps the youngsters pick up crucial social skills. Hence, entertainment is instrumental in achieving this mindset. Therefore, this will lead to better overall personality development. Okay, so let's talk about this here. Now, here you talked about "it." What does "it" refer to? Okay, it's not clear here what this "it" is a pronoun for because you didn't really have one noun in the previous sentence that made this sort of connection clear. So be careful with that. You could have said something else like entertainment in school. That would have been clear. So moreover, entertainment in school also boosts creativity and helps youngsters pick up crucial social skills. Now, when you say something like that, you need to support it. It's a pretty powerful statement. It's a pretty powerful assertion. So you have to support it. You have to tell us why you think of this. You have to tell us how it helps children pick up social skills. Okay? And then this was okay. But then look at this. Again, you've got this "therefore" here. This will lead to better overall personality development. I'm assuming that you're trying to use the template here and to link back to the first sentence, but this isn't really a restatement of your first sentence. You said that the mind works best when it's happy and in a good mood. Here, though, you're talking about personality development. So this doesn't really summarize that first statement. These are two separate ideas. And this, as far as I'm concerned, was an idea that if you were going to state it, should have been explored more. Okay. Or else I think you should have had just a different sentence there to wrap it up. Maybe you could have said something else like, therefore, learning is much more effective, or learning happens much more efficiently when entertainment is involved. I think that would have been a better kind of rephrasing of this. Okay, I hope this is making sense. Let's see. All right, let's move on. Secondly, teaching the subject itself by conducting different fun activities such as quizzes and animation. You only have two here, so don't put a comma, just link them with and. But this should have been plural. So fun activities, all right, hold on. You didn't need a dash here, so no hyphen. Different fun activities such as quizzes and animation can develop a natural liking for academic subjects without the, and reduce stress. This is because long duration of monotonous, this is awkward here, monotonous way of learning. Let's try it again. This is because long duration of, how about this, monotonous learning can jeopardize the ability to learn and retain information. For instance, according to the recent study by Australian Institute of Education, capital I, capital E, conclusively proves that many brilliant minds lose interest in study at an early age due to monotonous and forceful ways of teaching. You just used monotonous up here, so don't use it again. It's a word that really sticks out, and so the fact that you're repeating it really is it stands out. So find another way to do it. Okay, find another synonym, find something. Okay. Therefore, it is increasingly important for schools to use multiple ways to make studies more relevant and joyful. Okay. To conclude from the examples and arguments with plural here, I have given, I strongly believe that school needs to be more entertaining to make itself more conducive, to make itself a more conducive place, because you got a noun here, for learning. The advantages of this are many. No, not many folds. You can't say that. Get rid of folds, okay? The advantages of this are many, such as better grades, reduction stress, and developing social skills. Now, I want you to avoid using etc. It feels kind of, how can I say this? Kind of lazy, all right? Why do I say that? Because you should either, there are better ways to do this. It sounds like when you use etc., it's kind of like you're saying, oh, there are other ways, but you know what? Forget it. You get my point. I'm not going to write it. That's kind of what it feels like. However, if you want to show that a list you are giving is not exhaustive, that there are more things that you could have written, there's a better way to do it. Let me give you a suggestion. So, the advantages of this are many, such and include better grades, reduction stress, and developing social skills. Okay? Or the advantages are many, including better grades, reduction stress, and social skills. Okay? So this way you're showing us it's not an exhaustive list, but that you're just trying to show us some of them. But it does ring better than etc. In the future, this trend is bound to become increasingly popular and will get more government support and aid. Okay, fine. So I thought this was good. I felt like you were on topic, and the reason why I mentioned that is because a lot of students writing this essay aren't entirely on topic. You were on topic, so you didn't understand the element of entertainment in class, and so I really liked that. That was great. You just had some awkward areas with your grammar, some little mistakes here and there, but there were a number of them, okay? So when you're aiming for one of those higher band scores, you do need to be more consistent in your accuracy, okay? So again, I mean, while there was good grammar and good language on the whole, you need to be careful and aim for higher accuracy with this, okay? Now let's take a look at this essay about the enjoyable activity with a child. Let's see what you wrote. Children are the future of our society, and hence the best way to raise them has been a critical topic of discussion for parents over centuries. Now, upbring is not a verb. Okay, we talk about upbringing, but it's a noun, so you can't change it into a verb. You're also missing some articles here. You're missing some thes, so I want you to be a little aware of this and revise rules about articles. So, it is constantly debated by the intellectual minds of, in both, you can't say this. It is constantly debated by the intellectual minds of both the Eastern and Western world, whether children should indulge in learning through enjoyable activities like playing physical games, watching educational animation, singular, enjoying dance, performing, drama, etc. I've already talked to you about etc. You could have just said here and then gotten rid of etc. and it would have been better. Rather than reading at a very early stage, wait a minute, all right, you know what? Check this out. You've got this super long sentence, and what it has managed to do is just create some confusion here. Look at this. It's 4 lines, so, well, 3 and something. So, we need to shorten it in order to aid clarity. I'm going to look at it again, okay? It is constantly debated by the intellectual minds of both the Eastern and Western world whether children should indulge in learning through enjoyable activities like playing physical games, watching educational animation, enjoying dance, and performing drama, rather than reading at an early stage. Or if the opposite should be the case. Now, it's just too complex. It's too, I mean, we want complex grammar, but we don't want complicated grammar. This became complicated, and what happened is the accuracy was reduced. So what I would suggest is don't have this whole list here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I would have shortened it to 2, and then rather than reading at an early stage, full stop. Okay? And then I strongly advocate this view. Let's see. Yeah, and then you don't have to say the former view. This essay will discuss this point of view using examples from research from World Health Organization and Australian Institute of Educational Studies, capital, it's a title, to demonstrate points, improve arguments, plural. It's not just one argument, it's multiple arguments, so plural. And know the. Firstly, at the initial stage, it is more important to lay a strong mental foundation and framework by interacting and responding well with the external environment. This is because children, or a child, that's fine too, but not child itself. This is because children with better perception and comprehension will quickly pick up 2 words, not hyphen, reading skills, S, in a more natural way. Okay, all right. This can be best achieved by playing educational games, watching educational videos, and participating in outdoor activities. Full stop. For example, a recent study by WHO showed that children who indulge in these activities that foster creativity at an early stage have reported 15% better reading comprehension. Moreover, these children are quickly able to pick up reading with their enhanced D ability and possess 20% stronger mental association ability to recall on an average in comparison. Okay, now this is okay, but what I wanted to do was maybe restructure some of your sentences, restructure the progression of your ideas, because I essentially didn't know what you were talking about in this until I got somewhere to like the middle of the paragraph. So let's see, where was it? Okay, here, it wasn't until like your 3rd sentence that I realized that you were talking about these non-reading activities and what they can help develop. It is important to have a topic sentence that makes it absolutely clear what your paragraph is about. This was a very nice sentence, but it did not help achieve clarity, and I didn't understand what your central idea was here. So I liked it from a language point of view, but it wasn't particularly helpful in establishing the central idea of this paragraph. So that's something I'd like to see you do. I'd like to see you have a topic sentence that says, firstly, it is clear that non-reading activities lay a strong mental foundation and framework for children's future development. Okay, and then I would have understood, okay, that's what we're going to talk about. And then the rest of it becomes far more clear. Okay? All right. Let's see. Let's move on then, okay? Secondly, making the youngster, you don't make someone to do something, you make someone do something, all right? I've seen this in a couple of I've seen this a couple of times now, so get rid of the to. Secondly, making the youngster forcefully read can reduce interest in reading and consequently make it a stressful activity for both the children as well as parents. So this sentence has a number of grammatical mistakes. This is because the nature of the human mind, especially of younger ones, is such that they like to resist things that are forceful. For example, in a 5-year-long research conducted by Australian Institute of Educational Studies, again, Institute and studies should be capitalized, on children with the age, no, just say on children below 10 years of age, it is conclusively evident that interest in reading fell by 30% when the child was frequently forced to stop playing and read. Furthermore, the child associated reading with stress and anxiety. Thus, it is vital that children are not pushed to read at a very early stage if they do not enjoy it. Okay, now, this is an interesting paragraph. I liked it. I thought you developed it nicely, but it's not really on topic. Let's talk about why. They're asking you if doing an enjoyable activity with a child can develop better skills and more creativity than reading. And what you basically did in that paragraph was you told us that reading is damaging if you force it. But that's not what they're asking you. Okay? They're not asking you to talk about forcing reading on anybody and how this is damaging. They're asking you if a child can learn better skills with an enjoyable activity, if a child can learn better creativity, more creativity, or can develop better creativity with an enjoyable activity, and both of these are compared to reading. So an appropriate way to have developed this would have been, and I thought you did an okay job of this here. You talked about sports and where else was it? Okay, here we go. Educational games, watching educational videos, and sports, and so forth. So here's what I think you probably could have done. I would have liked to see talking about educational games and educational videos in this paragraph and talk about what skills they develop and how this is done far more efficiently and far better with these educational things than with reading. Okay, so talk to me about, I don't know, maybe problem solving or maybe creativity are developed with these things in such a way that has not been found with reading. That would have been a good way to develop that. And then you could have spent this paragraph talking about outdoor activities. You could have talked about sports. You could have talked about outdoor games like hide and seek even, or I don't know, what other outdoor games do kids play? Sports of any kind, or tag, or hide and seek, or there are tons. There's like, I don't know, there are a lot of outdoor games. That's my point. But you could have talked about how these activities outside develop certain things in children like spatial awareness, like hand-eye coordination, like fine motor skills, like gross motor skills. You could have talked about that, and you could have said then again how reading cannot accomplish these things. All right, so that would have been a better way to develop this. Let's take a look at your conclusion and we'll wrap up. To conclude from the examples and points I have given, I strongly believe that parents should focus on learning through entertaining activities. This will not only better equip the child to have better comprehension in reading here once the child starts reading, but also make it an enjoyable activity. In future, due to multiple you can't say multiple evidence because evidence is uncountable. So due to reliable scientific evidence in Due to reliable scientific evidence recently published, this trend is bound to become more popular and widely accepted. Okay? It's fine. There's, again, some awkwardness. So try to, smooth those awkward areas out. So I think we talked quite a bit about this. There are a number of areas where grammar becomes awkward, where it's inaccurate. Not so much that it impedes meaning, but it is still awkward, and it's happens relatively consistently throughout the essay. But for me here, the big problem was with task achievement, with making sure that you were developing this in a way that it needed to be developed, and you need to make sure that you're not going off topic and talking about things that they didn't ask you to talk about. It's very important to master the skill early in your preparation. Make sure that you really analyze the question, you understand what you're being asked to talk about. Okay? So correct these essays, please, based on the feedback in this video. Return them back to us. Start an error correction list with the mistakes, and next to the mistakes, the corrected version. Send that to us as well. And of course, your next set of essays where you apply everything you've learned in this video as well as in the course. So we'll meet back here with that new set and correct them. So lots of luck to you.